back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video expanding on one that I've previously done in the past on my favorite single shadows. So this one I wanted to be a little bit more specific, and I wanted to just focus on my top favorite one and done shadows that are specifically like brown, bronze, and gold tones, because that's pretty much what I wear every single day. And I've said this a lot in the past, but I do feel like you can create such a beautiful look with, you know, one eyeshadow or two. Like, I really don't think you need an entire palette. And I think the makeup that you're going to be the most inspired by, the makeup you're going to be the most excited to use, are the products that you're actually going to wear. And I personally find myself using single shadows more than anything else. So I've got quite a few to talk about. I'm very excited. So we'll just get right into it. First one I want to actually share is from Smashbox. When is the last time I've highlighted a Smashbox product on my channel? I picked this up on a whim several months ago and pretty much instantly fell in love. So this is the Smashbox Always On Cream Shadow. This one specifically is in the shade Amber. I love the formula of this. It's fluid and moussey but still creamy, so it's really easy and intuitive to work with. I think this looks the best really built up to a full opaque, you know, color. It's one of those cream shadows that pretty much has an eyeshadow primer built in to the actual product itself. So you could theoretically also use this as an eyeshadow primer if you'd like. I really like this shade Amber because it's matte and it just kind of neutralizes my eyelid and just gives me that little bit of definition. Like, I have a little bit of color on my eyes, but I still think it's something special because this shade has a really nice kind of like golden orange undertone to it. So I feel like it pairs really well with brown eyes and just gives them that really nice pop. The formula, like I said, easy to work with, so can be applied with either fingertips or a brush, and I've just been such a big fan. Super pigmented, so with this one, a little bit really goes a long way. I am right now giving you your sign to try a glitter shadow, specifically this one because it's absolutely phenomenal. So it's the Makeup Forever Starlit Diamond Powder in the shade 102. This is not a fully opaque glitter. You know, a lot of times with glitter shadows, the glitter itself is like solid opaque flecks of foil. This one, you can still kind of see behind it, so the effect it creates on your eyes is delicate and so unique in the sense that, you know, when you're wearing like a foiled shadow or a glitter shadow, you can really see it and it's just reflecting back a bunch of light. This one, depending on the angle that you're looking at it from, creates those twinkling bursts of light, and the glitter particles themselves are so fine and it's so beautiful. 102 pulls this really gorgeous yellow but gold undertone to it, and it looks beautiful on its own, like just on top of your foundation or concealer on your eyelid. It's something that I feel comfortable enough wearing during the daytime, and I just love the starry-eyed effect that it has. And you can also put it on top of another eyeshadow if you'd like as well, but such a unique, like, soft glitter that still has like gold and yellow to it. So again, perfect for a brown eye. Just give it that little twinkle, little pizzazz, while still looking delicate and wearable without being like in your face glitter. This next one is the Liquid Powder Chromatic Eye Tint from Ilia. I absolutely love this line from Ilia. I love Ilia in general, but I really like these eyeshadows because these are really similar to, you know, obviously other liquid shadows, but the Ilia ones I feel like have a little bit of extra stay power, especially for being like one that you apply with a doe foot. And the shade Sheen is like this warm cocoa. It's got a lot of, you know, pearl and strobe to it, so it just looks fiery and gorgeous on the eyes. Again, all of these shades, but this one really just phenomenal as like a smoky eye on brown eyes. And the reason I like the shade Sheen so much is because it's quite versatile. You can really, you know, build it up to full opacity and you get that really nice like foiled bronze look, or you can really just sheer it out on the eye and get a little bit of a wash of color. And I think it looks gorgeous either way, and just I love the formula of this as well. Another star player in the browns category is from Shiseido. So this is the Pop Powder Gel Shadow in Zoku Brown. Really like the formula of these powder shadows. Very similar to a kind of like creamy emollient, almost like oily powder eyeshadow. So with these types of formulated powder shadows specifically, you get very minimal, if any at all, fallout. So they're a really easy to work with formula. I really like this shade. It's like warm, coconutty. It's got a lot of shimmer to it, and I think it's like one of the most perfect one and done shadow shades. Again, because it's powder, perhaps going to be a little bit easier for some people to work with as well. I prefer this built up to full intensity, but again, you know, just sheared out over the eye, you can just get a little bit of definition and just that light wash of browns on the eyes as well. But I love this. This is like becoming one of my top 2 favorite brown single shadows. I really, really like this. I also really want to give a big recommendation if you are a brunette and you are looking for that like sultry, striking, perfect brown, that if you came to me and you were like, Daisy, I want the one that looks the best for creating a one and done smoky eye and will make my brown eyes pop and make them look like they have a honey undertone, it is Rustique from Nudestix. This one has a really strong, almost like red bronze undertone to it. It's not gonna like look red on your eyes, so don't be turned off by that, but it's got a really, really good amount of warmth to it. It's not too shimmery to where it's going to be something that has a foiled finish on the eyes, but oh my gosh, I cannot tell you enough. You can use this as an eyeliner and just smudge it out around the lash line, or you can really build it up and use it to smoke as like a, you know, full lid color, you know what I mean? But you can be a little bit strategic with the way that you want to use this. But just having this shade Rustique on your eyes paired with like especially a dark brown eye, I feel like it just manages to pull all those honey tones out of the brown and really give you like a striking result in the end. And I've sung the praises of Rustique for quite some time now, but it's definitely one of my top favorite brown eyeshadows. And pretty much every cream shadow I'm talking about, they're all really long lasting, so you could even use this as an eyeshadow base as well, and it can help prevent creasing. But beautiful on its own, very special, very good. This next one is not only beautiful but very fun to use. So this is Lorax Satin. The formula of this is kind of like marshmallowy, like it's spongy, so when you run your hand on it, it feels like oily and slick, but then if you were to like push onto the little product itself, it kind of bounces back at you. It's got like a little bit of a trampoline spring to it, and I think it's just like so fun to use. The shade Satin is also a beautiful kind of like soft Egyptian gold, not quite antique gold. You know, it's not as yellow as an antique gold, but I find this to be like an Egyptian gold. I think it's very beautiful, and then it has little flecks of glitter throughout the formula, so you get a really fun kind of like twinkling burst effect from the shadow, and it's not like a solid gold glitter, so it's a multi-dimensional shade in itself. You can tell this one is very well loved. I've brought it around with me a couple places and dropped it, so it's broken, but really fun to wear going out, but also subtle enough to be sheared out and worn during the daytime as well. But a really wearable gold in my opinion. You know, sometimes golds can be like a little bit too antique gold and then they look a little strange. This one's a really nice wearable gold. If you watched my videos, you know what was coming. The Laura Mercier Eye Caviar sticks. These are beautiful. So I picked my favorite top 2 shades. I could have included more, but I was like, what do you use the most? So the first is Rose Gold. The reason I like this is because this one's a little bit more of kind of like a baby eyeshadow. It's not really fully opaque, and it's just a nice wash of color on the eyelids when you just want like a little bit of glow on the eyes. So it's kind of like a no eyeshadow in that aspect. I like to wear it all over the eyelid and then use a little bit on the brow bone just for that little bit of glow and warmth. And these are absolutely phenomenal, great staying power as well. And then the other shade I love is Copper. Copper is intense foliage, it's beautiful, it catches other people's eyes because it just looks so good. It's a very striking statement eyeshadow for being, you know, just like a brown copper, but I still think it's a really great statement shade. Again, can be worn up to full opacity, or you can really sheer it out and have it as just like a wash of color on the eye, and it still makes a statement either way. So Copper, I don't think you can go wrong with. I want to talk about the beautiful Armani Itins. I'm a big fan of many shades from this line specifically, but if I had to choose the one that I find myself reaching for the most, it's the shade number 9, because I find it to be the most unique. This one is actually pretty neutral, almost like a cool leaning on my skin tone, but it's like a bronze taupe, and I find it to just be like so beautiful, obviously with all of these shades, but this is like a very great taupe for my skin tone. For me, having really warm tones, it's often tricky to find the right cool shades, and I really like this one. I feel like it almost makes my eyes look darker, which you're probably like, Daisy, your eyes are like practically black. But I mean, it makes my eyes look darker in a good way. And the way I would describe the finish of the Armani Itins is more of like a intense pearl. So kind of like a frosted foil. If you're somebody who's like, I really don't love a foiled finish, this one could probably be something that you'd actually really like, because you still get that like intense, you know, luminous finish, but it's just like if you had like a foiled eyeshadow and you just dusted it with a little bit of frost, I think that's what you get from the Armani Itins. Shade number 9, so good, try it. I'm also a very big fan of the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. I really like how you get like so much eyeshadow in these little pots. It's just really nice. I feel like you get a good value for your money. This shade is a beautiful, warm, deep bronze, and I really like the formula of these specifically because I find that these Charlotte Tilbury ones specifically, you can really sheer them out to where you just get barely any tint of color, almost like nothing's there, but you just have like that little something that's catching people's eye, or you can really build it up and create like a full-blown look. And also such an easy formula to work with. I like to apply with either a brush or my fingertips. I feel like I get a really consistent result regardless of the application technique, so I really love these. Now, the last thing I wanted to recommend, because I feel like maybe you really don't know where to start with eyeshadow and you're feeling like, I don't really know what single shade I really want to invest in yet. I think a really great place to start is Glossier Monochromes. I think that this is such a genius, simplified, you know, back to basics way at looking at eyeshadow, because this comes as a trio, so not technically a single shadow, but a single shade. So you get the same shade in 3 different forms. You have your matte, your satin, and then your like shimmer glitter shade. So mine is in the shade Teak. I absolutely love this. I recommend this to so many people. I wear this so consistently. This is one of my favorite shadow products I own ever since I got it. And it's something that I A, enjoy putting on, B, actually feel like is practical for everyday life, and C, I can get multiple looks from just this like one shade in 3 different forms, you know what I mean? I feel like this is so back to basics in the best way possible, because you're taking one shade, creating multiple looks out of it. You could just wear, you know, the matte shade one day, you can just wear the glitter shade when we're going out, you can just wear the shimmer shade, you can use them all together at once. I used them all together at once on my eyes today, and it's just like, I like using this, I like the colors, I like the idea of it. I do think that a lot of people would find this to be very practical, and although it's not a single shade, I really wanted to throw it in here because I think it's something that you could really genuinely get use out of, and I think it's a really practical product. And Glossier Monochromes, I really like it. Those are all the shadows I wanted to talk about in today's video. I hope you enjoyed the swatches on my eyes. If you enjoyed the eyeball swatches, please let me know. If that's helpful, I will continue to do it for you. And I know that a lot of these were more on the pricey side, so if seeing something that's specifically catered to drugstore price points would be something that you'd be interested in me doing a video on, then please just leave a comment down below, let me know. I'd love to do that for you. If that's something that you'd want to see, of course, I will get it up for you. I had so much fun filming this, and I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that all of my fellow single shadow and brown shadow lovers out there will enjoy this, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye, everyone.